Hail to you. Welcome to Chuntcast. Grab your drinking horn and gather around the fire pit as we discuss comics, gaming, movies, and pop culture. Like and subscribe if you haven't already to become a member of the Chunt Call. Skal. Hail to you indeed. Welcome to Chuntcast episode 54. By the might of Mjolnir. Yes, I am king of this realm, Uncle Chunt. I hope you are all being great ones to you and yours. Yes, welcome back for another week. I'm happy that you're here. Thank you very much. I just want to give a thanks out to everyone and yourself for watching my videos last week. I didn't expect any sort of viewership at all coming back after being away for so long, but that was great to see. And I got a few new subscribers, so welcome to those of you, should you remain. And I hope you stick around. And we continue to grow this little piece of the Chunty internet that I've seemed to have carved out for myself here and onwards to bigger things. So thank you for your support. It goes a long way. And I know you probably hear that in many other videos, but I actually mean it. That's the difference. I am genuine. Yes. Cool. So what are we going to talk about today? Right. Let's have a good discussion. Some gaming in here. And something about Superman at the end and Lois Lane. I always get a bit cringe and worried when we're taking a new spin or we're going to put our stamp on something comes up. And I just want to touch on that just a little bit because I am a Superman fan. For those of you who don't know, massive Superman fan. Actually today, recently, I've been getting into these DC Multiverse, these McFarlane figures. And I got a Lex Luthor recently. Really good figure, by the way. Look at this. I've got it in my hand here. For those of you who are listening, I'm holding an action figurine of Lex Luthor in the power armor suit. Anyway, it's blurred. But yeah, it's huge. It's a 7-inch tall figure, right? So there's this one, and I'm building a Justice League display for it. So we got these seats. Yeah, I'm going full in, mate. Full in. And my wife, I built her a dollhouse. And so she's doing her up. It's a big thing I built. Quite happy with it. I never built something like that before, but it is what it is. And today we got Mongol, the big one. Look at that. Look at the size of this thing. Mongol arrived today. It's a Green Lantern / Superman villain. A big DC threat, one of the most powerful villains in his Rose Gallery. And for those of you who are familiar with the Crisis on Infinite Earths, we've got the Anti-Monitor. Yes. Another big figurine. A little smaller than the Mongol figurine, but it is what it is. But really cool, man. It's bang on the 80s villain. This is where, if you keep hearing about DC Comics rebooting or Crisis events, or if you see DC properties always having Crisis in there some way, that's where that event came from. All right. DC Comics, Crisis on Infinite Earths. That's when back in the Silver Age and everything's getting too wacky and continuity is just all ridiculous. They made the smart decision to reboot the universe and try and streamline things, but they've been doing that ever since. So it is what it is. But that's the main villain of that. And he's a massive, that figure's not to scale. If it was to scale, this would be the size of his head, right? As tall as his head, if not a little bigger, right? So it's just a little impossible. Kind of would put this Unicron figure to shame behind me for those of you watching. Anyway, just thought I'd add that in there. If you are a DC Multiverse collector, comment below who your favorite figures you've got are, because I'm just getting into it and picking up some. Over there, I've got the Doomsday Superman 2-pack, and I've got the Blue Beetle movie figures. Just so I can have all the accessories, and I've got some more coming, just like the Green Lantern, and I've got a Batman coming, and something else. Oh, and I pre-ordered the Bizarro and Bat Zarro 2-pack. Comes out in March, whatever it is. I pre-ordered that. Anyway, so yeah, I'm getting right into it. It's actually cheaper than Hasbro Marvel Legends. Strangely enough, they're bigger, they're more detailed, but they cost less. That works for me. Say what you will about it, but that works for me, and they're great figures. I actually prefer them. I cancelled a whole bunch of Marvel Legends figurines I had on pre-order just because these are so much better, right? And I'm trying to take some of my fanship back, or my love of DC Comics, trying to restore that, right? Forget restore the Snyderverse. Let's go hashtag, I don't know, restore Chunt's love for DC. I don't know. That was really bad, but I love DC Comics. Or I grew up with DC Comics. DC is my thing. I like Spider-Man, but even then I'm weird. Like, I like Ben Reilly Spider-Man, and I'm collecting the Ben Reilly Hasbro Legends figures to have one iteration of all his points of the figures that have come out, like all these different costumes, the Scarlet Spider, you know, his actual Spider-Man suit, his Chasm suit, you know, that stuff. And his Spider-Man Reborn, whatever it is. I can't remember what the suit name is, but every time there's a figure that Hasbro releases of a Ben Reilly appearance, I want it so I can have my own little Ben Reilly collection. And I pre-ordered his girlfriend's figures. Got what's it called? Hallow's Eve coming out. So there's Scarlet Spider and Hallow's Eve wave coming out in February or April or whatever it is. So I pre-ordered those two, right? Because I kind of go, well, Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider, I'm obligated almost to get Hallow's Eve as it's his girlfriend while he's Chasm, right? And they're both evil. Anyway, I'm going really in the nerdy woods here, but yeah, I mean, as if I didn't already have a problem, you can see all the Transformers behind me. So it's a slippery slope. My Transformers collection is teetering down. I'm tipping off so much so, like when you're filling up a glass of water and you're getting to the top, it's kind of getting to that point now where, like, yeah, I've kind of got just about everything I want. And I'm just picking up the obscure ones, or the ones that surprise me or wow me that I might actually still have room for. No longer am I just going, yeah, I'll have that and that, that, like I am up there. Where this DC Multiverse line is, I'm really skating a fine line, right? I do not have the space to delve straight into another toy line, and I won't do that to myself or my wife, but I'm going to kind of pick up my favorites, and that's about it, right? And have a cool display. I bought a Barbie dollhouse, right? Yeah, I'm going all out there, right? I got it cheap on Facebook Marketplace for $50. So I'm going to drive out and pick that up at this lady's house next week, and laugh if you like, but I'm going to customize the ever-living hell out of that thing. I'm going to spray paint it all silver, right? I'm going to paint it up so it looks like a Justice League watchtower. I'm going to pull all the frills out, like the slide that's on the side. I'm going to pull all that crap out. My wife can have all the furniture that comes with it. But I'm going to replace all the monitors in there, all the artwork that's in, it's like the stickers and stuff. I'm going to turn that into like Justice League monitors, and I'm going to have a space background with the Earth and stuff like that. I'm going to get LED lights. It's going to look, you won't even recognize it. You won't even realize it's a Barbie dollhouse when I'm done with it. So laugh if you will. But these figures are quite tall, right? These are about, Hasbro Legends figures are about that tall-ish next to these, right? So I can't just get anything, right? I can't just get anything to get a display going for these guys. And I've been looking around, and Barbie dolls are pretty much, you know, about this big, right? So I needed something with a bit of headroom for the 7-inch figures. Barbie doll houses make sense, and I tried to find the one that looked, as far as the shape goes and the build of it goes, as less feminine as possible. Anyway, long story short, I'll post some photos of it on socials, or I might do a video on it when it's done. It's a long-term goal. I've only just started getting this toy line, and I'm already going, yeah, I'm going to build a Justice League watchtower to put them all in. And the thing that I keep looking over at, we'll get into the topics in a minute. Sorry, I'm just having a conversation with you. Hopefully you don't mind. I'm just trying to connect and chat. And it's been a long week, and I've been working, and this is my opportunity to talk nerd. So I bought this at Kmart, right? It's a large wooden circular thing, right? So, Chunt, why did you do that? So those of you who don't know, the Justice League and their watchtower, or the Hall of Justice, depending on what continuity, what period, whatever it is. There's always some kind of table, right? A round table, a Justice League round table. So that's why I've got this thing and this chair, right? Yes, it starts coming together. So I'm going to get like another 8 of these or 7 of these, right? Maybe 6, because that'll be 7. I'll see how many I can fit around. Oh, I just bumped the microphone, sorry. I'm going to see how many I can fit around this table. Now, I'm going to paint this like a silver metallic kind of thing, and I'm going to put a big Justice League logo in the middle of it. And that becomes the Justice League round table, right? Hell yeah. And I'm going to try and make that fit into the display. And Discord, I'm going to mute the hell out of you because you're bothering me. Turn it off. Yes, go away. Sorry for that interruption, kids, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to stop nerding out. I think that's a good hint. Discord's like, notification, stop talking, get into the actual topics. Anyway, settle in. Let's get into it, and we'll have some pretty interesting discussions, I believe. Now, first off, I'm doing Ask Chunt. Ask Chunt is the first topic off the bat. Indeed. Here we are. Excellent. So Ask Chunt. This comes from, now, excuse me if I butcher your name, Ranul Howitzer. Hopefully I got that. So he writes in, hey Chunt, welcome back for the new year. On that, what have you been playing lately? And what games are you looking forward to for 2024? I hope your channel grows this year, as it's criminal you're not more known. Keep going. Mate, I don't know what part of the world you're from, but can you spread the word? That'd be great. Send all the people that you know my way. And, it's probably mostly my fault, right? I'm trying to understand the SEO aspect this year. I don't quite understand how that all works, and it's obvious because I haven't grown much. I mean, I have grown, but as you know, it's difficult. If this was easy, everyone would be doing it. So I appreciate that, mate. Yeah, where do I go from that? Just a massive thanks for that acknowledgement and being here and enjoying what I do. This is my excuse to nerd out with you at the end of the week and make some content and hopefully get some interesting discussion from my perspective out there. And okay, let me just get into that a little bit. Why do I keep looking at my phone? Because I realized I didn't turn my backlights on. For those you visual listeners, that doesn't make sense. But anyway, yeah. So I'm trying to do a lot this year, right? I have been inconsistent. I get that, and the consistency is key. But you also need to understand your keywords, your tagging, your titles, and I don't like to get into the rumor mill aspect of YouTube. I don't. The drama stuff that everybody watches and it's like tabloid crap. I don't like doing that, and it kind of seems like the easy way out, and I don't want to fake myself, right? I could probably fake it, right, and start making a whole bunch of content surrounding this whatever YouTube drama is going on, right? And I just want to enjoy it, right? I want to be invested in what I'm doing, and if I'm invested in what I'm doing, it's going to show for you. You're going to tell on how I speak on it. And if I have a good time, I'll be smiling and laughing, right? Or I'll be wanting to get more involved in the conversation, or I'll speak to it better if I'm actually interested and intrigued about what the topic is I'm speaking to, right? And unfortunately, at least in my experience, I don't see too much of that going around YouTube, right? And that seems to be the thing, right? The sex sells aspect, the tabloid sells, the fascination of trash, right? Dumpster fires, train crashes and stuff like that. People are just invested in, they can't turn away, right? And then you've got someone like myself who's like, yeah, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about DC Multiverse for 5 minutes, or what Xbox games I'm playing, or the Xbox the Xbox Direct and this Lois Lane situation with the new Superman movie. I want to mix all that into one video because I don't want to make separate channels. I just want to have my thing, right? I want my chunk cast. So I want to talk about what I want to talk about, and hopefully I'll attract people like yourself that are like-minded or that are interested in what I have to say in the game space and the pop culture space, right? Because I, for one, think that, you know, I have a good perspective on things, right? I might not be right. I'm not saying I am. I'm probably wrong a lot of the time. I don't really care, but I have my opinion, and I want to do that, right? And I don't want to have to delve into the circle pit, so to speak, right? Anyway, getting out of that. Thank you for being here, mate. I'll answer your question now, or the first part of it at least. What have I been playing? Harry Potter Legacy. I've been playing that a bit. My wife has been coaxing me to play that, and I've been playing it off and on. I started it before, well, as we were wrapping up the end of the year. I started playing that, and I got it on sale, and it's actually a very good game. It's an excellent game, and you know, we went away for the holidays and that kind of stuff, and I'm just kind of picking up a game now and then to play as I get back into work. But yeah, Hogwarts Legacy. Oh, Harry Potter Legacy? Hogwarts Legacy. That's what I meant to say. I want to get back to Starfield and finish it because that was my game of the year last year. And I played a lot of the side content before I even barely delved into the main content. I think I put like 100-something hours into the game, barely touching the main campaign. So now I'm going back to the main campaign, or at least I did towards the end of last year. And I found the main campaign aspect to be a lot more boring than the side content. So I just kind of put the game down and haven't gone back. Right, but I will. And I tried to get into Forza Motorsport, the reboot of Forza Motorsport. I really like Forza Motorsport. I really do. For some reason, I'm not feeling this one. Right? It's they say it's made for Series S and X, right? But it doesn't look much better than the previous Forza Motorsport 7, right? I was expecting not a quantum leap, but the visual aspect of the game, like, it looks amazing when you're doing the raining, when the weather is raining and you're at night. Like, it looks amazing, right? But when you're playing and racing around the track during the day, it just looks a bit boring, you know? And I don't know what that is. Like, there's photorealism there, but it just feels like a game. It's hard to explain. I know that sounds such a redundant comment. This game feels like a game. But, you know, it's just, I can't explain it, mate. I can't. But it just didn't grab me like previous Forza games did, or Forza Motorsport games at least. And I do understand there's Forza Motorsport Horizon, which I think Forza Motorsport Horizon or Forza Horizon 5, that spoiled me, mate. Like, that spoiled me for any other. Forza Motorsport 3 and 5, right? Those spoiled me for Forza games, where I don't think I can actually go back and get into the simulator Forza Motorsport games unless I took it a step further and got like a racing wheel set up, you know, and a chair, and, you know, got all that going, which I'd love to one day. Well, look, if this channel grows, you know, and I can actually utilize this channel to change my lifestyle and, you know, get into a bigger house and that kind of stuff, you know, I might actually, you know, that's dreaming and stuff. But, you know, down the road, who knows? I'd love to do that one day if I'm not too old by then. But yeah, look, what have you been playing? You tell me, mate. You tell me. Hit me on socials or whatever, tag me or whatever it is. Let me know you saw this, and let me know what you're playing. I'm interested to know. I do have a lot of Switch games that I haven't played yet as well, but we'll be here all day. Just trying to explain what I haven't played on my Switch. But, I mean, I can tell you, if I go back to this other view here, I'll tell you what games I'm actually looking forward to. So I've got a list here of this year. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I'm actually looking forward to that. I'm hearing mixed results and mixed opinions or whatever from some closed beta that happened recently. I requested to be part of that beta, but obviously I didn't get in. So maybe I'll be in the open beta. Who knows? But it looks beautiful. I just wish it wasn't the game that it is, but it still looks fun. I think I'm going to play that. I might pick it up after. I might get through Gotham Knights first, because I've barely touched that game. I need to restart it. My wife and I tried to play it, but something else came out and we just went and played that instead. But I really want to play Gotham Knights. But this year, let's just focus on this year. So Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It's on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, according to my notes. Final Fantasy, and that's out in February 2nd, by the way. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth on PS5, February 29. Oh boy. I'm going to try and be day one for that if I can. Otherwise, that's my, sorry, I just dropped my, I'm going to put that down. It's a lens cap for my camera. I'm just playing with it like a fidget spinner. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. I played Remake. I loved Remake. It blew me away. I was so enamored with that game. Man, it's incredible. I can't believe that game looks as good as it does, considering it's made for PS4 and it's a PS5 upgrade and all this kind of stuff. So I can't wait to see what this new game looks like. It's only on PS5, right? So it's going to utilize that console a lot more, hopefully. But it's stunning. It's going to look stunning anyway. Princess Peach Showtime on Switch, March 22nd. Yeah, I'm going to probably pick that up. Like I'm all about, see my Switch, like I said, I think previous Chuntcast, my Switch is essentially my Mario simulator. That's all I really play on it. And when I played the hell out of, it's Pokemon and Mario. That's pretty much all I use my Switch for. I've got Metroid Prime Remaster on there and I haven't even played it yet. And I've got some other games, like some retro games like Panzer Paladin and some retro games like that I got on sale. Bat Boy and something else. Can't remember what it is, but yeah, I like. Anyway, I talked about that last week. Go watch that one. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. Yes. So September 9. Wow, that's a bit of a jump. So I'm going to have a bit of a gap this year. If nothing else fills it. So PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles. All right. Now, I hope they bring out a remaster of Space Marines 1. That was on 360 and PS3 back in the day, because I haven't played that, but I always wanted to. So if they don't put it out on new consoles, I may have to try and track down a copy and pick it up and hook up my 360 back in the lounge room again and give that a whirl. It's just Warhammer. It's Gears of War. Oh, wow. Okay, that's quite opportune. I'm wearing a Gears of War hat for you audio listeners. It's Gears of War in space. Gears of War / Warhammer, right? Just sign me up. Amazing character designs and lore and stuff like that. But Gears of War gameplay, hell yeah, sign me up. Lollipop Chainsaw Repop. Yep. I'm probably going to pick that up or give it a go. I've got the 360 game. I bought it a long time ago and I've yet to play it. So you're probably asking, now, Chunt, why are you going to just buy the same game again, even though it's a new version? But you got the old one anyway. So why are you going to buy a new one? So I mean, why not? Leave me alone. I want to do it. I just like to play. Okay, there's a better version coming out, okay, the argument could be made which one's the better one, but I want to play the best looking one, right? That might sound elitist of me, but if they're doing a remaster of a game and I have the option to play it, now if you put the 360 game or the new version in front of me, as long as the new version is faithful enough to the old one, it's probably going to run better. The controls going to be better, and the graphics are going to be better. Unless I just want that niche experience to play like a 720p version, if that, of an old game, right, on a loud disc spinning. I mean, I know there's that whole retro scene, and people like to delve into that, and I appreciate that. I still have my original. I have an original Xbox and a Mega Drive, a PS2 and a PS3. Hooked up in my lounge room. I didn't have room for my 360 anymore. So anyway, I'm going down another path here, but yeah, Lollipop Chainsaw Repop, if that ever comes out. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Yes. Yep. Yes, I am interested in playing that. Yes, I am. I really enjoyed Microsoft Flight Simulator that came out a couple of years ago during lockdowns and all that. I had a great time. It was such a chill experience, right? And this one looks like it's actually got more stuff to do in it, right? So I'm gonna play that, and it'll become the Game Pass, of course. Avowed. Now I'm on the fence with this. Now since the reveal trailer, I was like, yeah, sign me up. I'm done. I just want that game. But then they released some gameplay footage of it not too long ago, last year, and I was kind of like, oh. It looks a bit rough. Like, I don't really yeah, it's bright and colorful, but it's also not what I expected. It looks to me markedly different then the reveal trailer. The reveal trailer looks like it's meant to be some like dark and gritty and mature RPG, with epic magic effects and stuff like that. But the gameplay trailer is kind of all colorful and some like last gen graphics, right? In my opinion, or at least last gen models and effects, right? But we'll see. Maybe that was just alpha footage or pre-alpha or whatever it is footage, right? And they've still got time to polish. Who knows? But my hype and excitement for that has waned a little bit. And it sounds bad that I judge it that way, but we all do. Let's get real. We're in 2024 now, and you're promoting an Xbox exclusive game on what's meant to be the most powerful console out there, and you're putting out a game that looks like that. Anyway, for an exclusive, I mean, come on. Anyway, gory, cuddly carnage. Now, tell me if you know about that game. I've been following this game for what feels like years now, right? I've played the demo on Steam. I just want this game. It is insane. It looks great. I like the character designs and the art style. It's batshit crazy. And you play a violent cat that has a hoverboard that kills unicorns with his hoverboard and fights giant monsters and stuff and space. Sign me the hell up. I want it. I've asked on Twitter a few times and they reply that yes, it's coming to Xbox, and I'm just waiting, right? Anyway, and keeping on with the cat theme, there's another one called Little Kitty Big City on Switch and PC. So if you remember, what's that Untitled Goose Game, right? If you played that, if you're aware of what that game is, Little Kitty Big City seems like it's just that, right? But you're a cat and you can interact with other animals and stuff and speak to them and just roam around at this city and cause havoc, or at least inconvenience the humans within. But yeah, I'm sure there's more. I don't think like Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, I mean, Hellblade 2, whatever you want to call it. If that comes out this year, hell yeah. Right, I'm going to play the hell out of that. I'm so looking forward to it. And there's probably other games that I'm missing off this list, but those are the ones that I could think of off the top of my head. This week, I was like, this week I'm thinking, what games am I looking forward to this year? Because we've only just started and I haven't really looked into it. And I was like, oh yeah, I know about that one, know about that one, know about that one. So I just listed them down. So if I've missed stuff, you tell me, right? You tell me or make me your recommendations to keep an eye out for what's coming this year. And I'll check that out. Cool. All right. So that was a really long ass chant. So let's get into the actual first topic of the day. And that's the Xbox exclusivity. Is it ending? Is that the world we're going to be in? Let's go. Excellent. Cool. All right. Bring it on. So Xbox rumors. Is Xbox exclusivity ending? Are we going to live in a world where Xbox becomes a third party? Oh, it's that whole conversation all over again. It happens every year. Oh, well, it seems like there's where there's smoke, there's fire, right? And I think this article that I read a few days ago, and that's why I've bookmarked it, even says so. So this is by Jez Corden of Windows Central, right? Another year, another round of third-party rumors. Rumors suggest Xbox is bringing more games to Nintendo Switch and PS5, but what's the truth? Who knows? So let's have a look. Over the past few days, rumors began to swirl that Microsoft is once again exploring bringing first-party Xbox games to competing platforms. For anyone keeping score, it wouldn't be without precedent. With the Activision Blizzard deal in the bag, Microsoft is effectively becoming one of the biggest third-party publishers on PlayStation and Steam already, with games like Call of Duty, Minecraft, Diablo, etc. distributed wholly under the Microsoft umbrella. This latest rumor mill doesn't pertain to that though. Historically, console sales have revolved around the arbitrary gatekeeping of exclusive content. There's no reason why God of War or Super Mario Bros. Couldn't run on Xbox, PC, or whatever else, but publishers don't bring it to other systems because they want you in on their ecosystem. Even Apple has started exploring exclusive games with traditional console publishers in an attempt to grow its Apple Arcade brand. Times are changing though, and changing quite rapidly. So let's dig into the latest rumors, examine the likelihood of them being true, and see if we can't grab a crystal ball and try to figure out what the future may look like for Xbox's upcoming game lineup. Yes. The rumors, okay? So apparently, a few days ago, so there's this bloke who says that an acclaimed Nate, this bloke, let me just say he properly reference it. Nate the Hate suggested on his podcast that an acclaimed Game of the Year worthy Xbox exclusive will come imminently available on the competing console platform. Nate has a good track record for accuracy in the past, which created a groundswell of speculation over what game it could possibly be. Right, and they go on to just start quoting some stuff that Phil Spencer and other people in the industry have said, but apparently it's been confirmed through this article, Jez Corden, with some sources that separately over the holiday period, the games like Hellblade 2, Avowed, and Elder Scrolls 6 are still slated. I had to stop and think about that as a Roman numeral in my brain. Are still slated to be Xbox console exclusives after the initial rumor mill moving around towards platform agnosticity. Oh, nailed it, swelled. Now I'm wondering if those rumors began due to the name. So, oh my God, began. Let me just restart that sentence. Now I'm wondering if those rumors began due to the game Nate the Hate is potentially talking about above, a game that I hadn't really considered or chased up. So everybody's saying that Hi-Fi Rush is probably going to be the game that'll be heading to the Nintendo Switch and or PlayStation, right? And there's an update here saying, just what I just said. So the same user on Twitter, was that Xstas? Man, people in their Twitter, Xstas1 Stiv. That's what it says right here, right there. At EXTAS1 STV. Xstas1 Stiv. Anyway, let's go on to that. Well, I'm going to have a nosebleed soon. So, yeah, I could really see that Hi-Fi Rush could potentially do that. I reckon that would be the game. It's the logical one, right? It's acclaimed. Everybody liked it. It didn't. I don't think it did too well, but I think they're surprised with the success, and I think they're happy with how well it did, considering it was a shadow drop after one of these events, Xbox events. So I guess it's a new IP that's well liked. It has its fan base, and it wowed a lot of people. So what can Microsoft do to kind of maybe capitalize on that, and let's just drop it on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation, right? Let's make it not an exclusive. Let's shop it around to other consoles. It was a low investment for Microsoft, right? You can consider it that way. But anyway, we can continue on. So yeah, like I said, they say there's no smoke without fire. I will say that it has been suggested to me from very trusted, proven sources that Microsoft has been exploring bringing some of its back catalog to other platforms. Interesting. Although some of the details remain vague and unconfirmed. We reached out to Microsoft to comment and clarify its position on this stuff. There's some substance here, it says. Given the track record of Lolilo, I'm not going to say that many times, Nate, and my own sourcing on this, I think rumors will probably pan out into reality, says Jez Corden. But until things are fully confirmed, remember that this kind of stuff is with a grain of salt. What is clear is that Microsoft is actively thinking about this stuff. And we know this from public conversations from the likes of Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, Xbox CFO Tim Stewart, and Xbox CEO Phil Spencer. Met you. Hi, Phil. Speaking during the FCC hearings over the Activision Blizzard acquisition, Nadella emphasized that the only reason Microsoft produces exclusive Xbox games today is because competitors do. All right, so that's really keen to say, right? And that's really keen to keep an eye on what he just said there. They're only doing it because others are doing it. So lately I've been thinking about, so why do businesses do the certain things that they do? Why do we do the certain things that we do, right? And why do we keep doing them? Just because we've been doing something one way doesn't mean that's the right and only way to do it, right? So I think that's where Xbox is going now, where, I mean, they've got smart people, right? People that are highly intelligent and smarter than most of us watching this channel or other channels, right, going around. They know that games are what sells, right? Hardware has a ceiling, right? Hardware just literally has a ceiling. I'll just take that off the screen for a little bit. My perspective on all this, and they go into like what other potential games it could be, like Sea of Thieves and all that kind of stuff. And they understand that the hardware, it's inconsistent, and the business realities of what Microsoft in the gaming space is leading into, and the future of gaming and streaming and all that kind of stuff. So, and then this article goes into more detail about perhaps all the other games like Ori and Minecraft and other things that have been Microsoft games, like As Dusk Falls going to other platforms. could be testing the waters to see how that succeeds, right? So Xbox buying Activision Blizzard is not just to bolster themselves as Xbox and the hardware and to put everything at exclusives, right? There's going to be a time where the box doesn't matter anymore. Like, let's be real. And how do I feel about that? Right? How do I feel about a world where Xbox potentially all of its games, all of its IP, all the titles that it owns aren't just stuck on Xbox, right? Xbox Game Pass, that's on many things now. You can play it on your browser, you can play it on your phone, right? You can play it on your tablet. It's streaming, right? You can get it on your phone and get controllers to hook your phone up to, and you're playing it there. Where does the tribality, that's not even a word, but I'm going to use it, tribality, trademark, patent pending, where does the tribality end? Yes, I'm owning that, yes. Where does that stop, right? Those of you who know me, and if you know me well enough, you'll understand that I've got this really epic photo of myself and Phil Spencer from when I was doing a press event before the public was allowed into the EB Games Expo one year, and I met him. I've told this story before. I might tell it again one day, but now's not that time. But I've got this photo with him, and I want to get it. I want to get it blown up, printed and blown up in blown up, printed and framed, and put on a wall. Because to me, that was one of the high points of my personal life, not just life, but just my personal life and my hobbies and interests and whatnot. And I'll never forget that day. But I just like, Phil, you've come a long way. Xbox has come a long way. But I also remember myself back then, where for those of you who know me, you know that I'm an unabashed Xbox fan, right? I waved that flag. I went into fight for stuff. You know, I bolstered my defenses. You know, I did all that kind of stuff. The fanboy, whatever. You know, I did all that. And look, there's still a part of me that does, right? There's still a part of me that's like, no, I want the Xbox, right? Not just the Xbox service, but I want the Xbox box, right? The console. I always will want an Xbox console under my TV, right? I just want that to be my place to play. Do I play streaming? Yes, I do it on my phone because I've got this big ass awesome Nacon controller that I hook up my Fold 4 to, so I can have this epic size screen that I can play, and it works a treat. I play it in bed sometimes with my wife, and when I'm away traveling or whatnot, and it's fine. It does the deed, so to speak. It does what it's required, but it's never as good. It'll never replace having the console, right? And the Xbox console is where you expect to go to have all your Xbox games optimized to play the best that they could be on that machine. Yes, I'm fully aware that PC will do it better because of whatever upgrade specs that you can do. You're going to have a PC that's more optimized, that has better hardware, more powerful hardware than an Xbox does, whatever. But that's not me, right? I downgraded my PC. I got a Microsoft Surface Pro, and it does everything I need it to do. I don't game on this thing. I don't like gaming at a desk. I just don't like it. I'd rather be on a couch. So where am I going with this? So I've been paying for Game Pass for years now, and it's paid its well worth of weight in gold and whatever else. I love Game Pass. It's you can consider yourself saving so much money just by having it there. And the moment that you try and test a game on there, that's money that you haven't spent, right? But you've tried a new game that you haven't played before. Should that experience be open to everyone? Yes. Right? The more people that can play games, the more your favorite games are going to get supported, right? So will I always play Gears of War on an Xbox? Yes, because I just like Xbox. I like the environment. I've invested in this environment for many years, and that's where I want to be. Will I be annoyed if Gears of War gets put on Switch and PlayStation? Not 100%, but I'm going to say yes anyway, because I fear that I won't have the best experience, right? Because Gears of War 5, think of what you will of it. Gears of War 5 is still one of the best looking games on Xbox, or if not any other console today, right? Particularly the Hivebusters expansion, right? I think it was called that, whatever it was. The big episodic expansion, whatever it is, DLC expansion that came out. that looked stunning, and it still does. The main game still does, right? I don't know how they managed to pull off that wizardry, and it looks almost comparable on Xbox One. So I don't know what they did with that game. It's magic, but I just fear that if they put Gears of War 6, for argument's sake, on PlayStation and Switch somehow, that you're going to get a really gimped version on Switch. You're going to have some comparable experience on PS5, right? But I just fear that the resources that developers will spend on making those other versions of games won't be pulled in and centralized to make the one game the best, right? And that's always the benefit of having a console exclusive game, because they can put all their resources to making it the best version for that console, right? They can optimize for that hardware a lot better without having to consider other consoles. They can just build for one platform, right? There's a lot of benefits for that. And yes, I'm not even talking about gameplay yet. And I know what you're probably thinking. It's not just about how a game plays and how it looks and that kind of stuff. Well, no, but it adds up to the whole experience, right? I've tried to play Valheim and Dinkum on my Surface. Now, my Surface is not meant for games, right? But I really enjoy those games for what I played of it. But the experience I had on this Surface took me out of the game completely, because I just knew that I was playing gimped versions of those games. And I was sitting there going, man, I wish Valheim is on Xbox and I was playing it on Xbox, but I thought I'd try it on my Surface for a mobile type experience, local to a device, not streaming. But so I uninstalled those games, went straight back to streaming on my Xbox controller, my Nacon Pro controller thing. Anyway, so I hope, look, long story short, if I get more Gears of War games, if I get more Halo games, if I get more Forza games, if I get new IP out of Microsoft, if they bring back like the Transformers games, if they, I don't know, if they buy Sega or something, or if they bring back Ratchet and Clank and they start pulling out Ratchet and Clank, Banjo-Kazooie, if they start bringing out all those IPs, right, and they just so happen to be on every other thing, cool, man. Like I'm well past it, right? I'm not going to fight that fight. I just want good games at this point. I'm at that point in my life where I just want good games to play. And yes, I have Xbox ingrained into my gaming habits, my gaming wants. It's where I've invested my gaming space at. You know, I'm fully aware that I could sell my Xbox and go get like a Lenovo Go, right, which will play everything probably comparable, if not better in some instances, depending on what it is, to most handhelds out there. And, you know, and I could have a mobile Xbox, right? I'm fully aware of that. But there's just something to me about knowing that the console that you've got that's put out by, you know, PlayStation or Microsoft or Nintendo, that they've built this console particularly to play their games the best, right? So you don't need to go mucking around with drivers, display issues, you know, installing patches that you're unaware of, right? All that kind of stuff. Like, you know that the game's going to be automatically updated for you. The best version of the game on that platform is pushed to your console. You don't have to fight with anything. It's all there and it's done. Like that's what I always like about consoles, right? And if Microsoft pulls out of consoles, which look, PlayStation are going to do it, Nintendo will go down kicking and screaming. Xbox will probably do it. There's a potential future where Nintendo is the only one putting out a console, right? Let's be real. Yeah, you might disagree with that, but I can see that happening, right? Sony will go down kicking and screaming too, because they don't have the infrastructure that Microsoft does, right? If you can see the order of things, Microsoft will be the first one out, then PlayStation, then Nintendo, right? But that's like 10 years away, right? And I'll be like 50 or whatever, no, 48, whatever it is, by then. And, you know, I should be worrying about other things by then, but I'll still be giving commentary on the PS10 or whatever it is by the time that comes around. So yeah, look, Xbox exclusivity will just look different. It'll evolve. Yes, they're investing heavily in their own IP, and for the foreseeable future, I see another Xbox console coming. I think they've commented as much as Phil Spencer saying that he'll always see a box under a TV, but he said a lot of things over the years that haven't come to be, or just twisted a little bit down the future, or he's said stuff about where he doesn't see a future where Xbox shops around its IP to other consoles, but then you've got like stuff like Minecraft and Ori and As Dusk Falls and Hi-Fi Rush, or potentially Hi-Fi Rush, and now Call of Duty and all of that kind of discussion that comes into play with all that. So that doesn't really make sense now, right? So I have a lot of friends that don't solely game on Xbox, right? They just play games that suits where they play, right? They're not tied to anything, and when they are, it doesn't last very long. And then they tune out and they come back. And I've got mates that just play 2 games, right? And that's it. They play their 2 games annually, and they don't really care where it is, but they've just stuck with the same console like I have over the years because that's what they know. There's always going to be people like that out there, like us, right? You and me. So anyway, you tell me, where are you playing? What's your favorite place to play? Well, what are your thoughts on Xbox potentially in the future no longer being like a first-party publisher? How bizarre would that be? Right, that to me that'd be a bit sad because I love the hype. I love the competition. I love oh man, what's Xbox going to do? Oh, how's PlayStation going to answer to that? Or what's Nintendo going to do in between here? And seeing the big 2 or the big 3, if you want to call it, like going showing us different stuff and doing different things. But there is a future where it all just blurs into one. Like there's only so much you can do for gaming, right? We're getting to the point where we're getting photorealism happening, and like no one really gives a shit about 8K, right? I don't. Right, 4K is fine, man. 8K is almost discernible. Like you can't even say what you like. I mean, you can't even tell, right? I don't care who you are. Like 8K, if you're like, I can tell the difference, I don't buy it, mate. Like if you get a 4K monitor and that's running at 120 hertz, right, and you're playing a 120 FPS game on a 4K screen, it doesn't get much better than that, right? So what do you do next for consoles? They're already doing 4K, and some of them, like Xbox, are doing 4K 120 FPS, right? So what's next? Like the photorealism is next, right? So what you need to do is go, okay, we've got photorealism happening, and some game engines are being optimized for that. So now we just need hardware that optimizes for that, right, to utilize those systems better. And now we're going to have really photorealistic, high-fidelity games running at 4K. Cool. You literally do not need to go any further, right? So what do console manufacturers do from then? It's a never-ending decline in returns, right? Diminishing returns. That's what I'm trying to say. That's where it starts going. We're already going there, right? So it behooves Microsoft and PlayStation to invest much more than they need to right now in hardware, right? Anyway, that's getting into a very other discussion because Nintendo's off there like playing with crayons and stuff still, and they're winning the race. So go figure, right? And we just talked about Switch 2 last week. So I'm really excited about Switch 2. And that's the other thing, like Nintendo Switch 2, sign me the hell up. If I can play the Nintendo games at 4K, right? The Nintendo art style doesn't need to be more than what it is, right? Cool, more polygons, crisper image, 4K, 60 hertz for everything. Let's go. That's all you need to do, Nintendo. Keep your art style. Stay within that wheelhouse. I don't need to see the paws and nose hairs on Mario. I don't need to see the blackheads on Luigi's nose. I don't need to see the abscess in between Bowser's scales. I don't need to see that stuff, right? There's a line. There's a line. Anyway, I've gone way over time on that one, and this is getting into a long episode. So we'll get into the next topic. And the next topic is something about the Xbox Direct. That's right. I had a brain fart there. So let's get into it. Excellent. So Xbox Direct, it's just around the corner. January 18. Today is the 12th of January. So literally next week, right? And they've put out an article kind of outlining what to expect. So let's have a look. Xbox Developer Direct. All right, so we got Oxide doing this game, Obsidian doing this game, Machine Games. This is the main draw here. Machine Games in your lower right there for the visual listeners. Machine Games are doing the Indiana Jones game, right? So it looks like we're going to play. We're not going to play. We're going to look at some gameplay. Finally, right? We just had that teaser and everybody's been speculating since. And over there on the left, we've got Ninja Theory with Hellblade 2. All right, so let's have a look at what this is. Xbox to present Developer Direct returning on January 18th. You're about to get an exciting look at some of the incredible games ahead with Xbox as we present a new edition of Developer Direct. On Thursday, January 18th, well, it's probably Friday here in Australia, I think, UK fans will get an inside look at a selection of highly anticipated games coming to Xbox Series XS, PC, and Game Pass. Shortly after, ZeniMax Online Studios will host the Elder Scrolls Online 2024 global reveal at blah 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 to preview 2024's biggest update. Cool, awesome. Presented by the game creators themselves. All right, so we'll visit Machine Games in Sweden to check in on their Indiana Jones game. Swing by Obsidian's Irvine offices to see more Avowed. Head to Oxide Games Maryland home to learn about Ara, History Untold, and take a trip to Cambridge, England, to see Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 from Ninja Theory. Please note that while this show won't have updates on games from Activision Blizzard, you can look forward to news from those teams later this year. The show will be a celebration of just a select of our slate of upcoming games from Xbox. It's also another part of our commitment to consistently bring Xbox players can't miss experiences. 2024 kicked off with a bang for Game Pass members, and you can expect that lineup to include more incredible games from Xbox and our partners as the year goes on. Right, so they're already talking about having can't miss experiences. Xbox players can't miss experiences, right? So in the previous topic, we're just talking about exclusivity. So if you're an Xbox player, like this is where the verbatim starts changing, and you can already see it happening, and it has been happening. So if you're playing on Xbox, you're playing through Game Pass, you're playing through remote play, you're playing through streaming, you're playing on console, you're playing on browser, right? So the Xbox exclusivity discussion is really skewed at that point. So what have we got? Indiana Jones game. Machine Games, the award-winning studio behind the recent Wolfenstein series, will reveal their upcoming Indiana Jones game. Oh my God, if I can talk. An action-adventure that puts players in the leather jacket of the legendary archaeologist. Developer Direct will showcase more than 10 minutes of game and developer insights, including details about the game's setting and story. How fans will actually play as Indy, additional details from his next globe-trotting adventure, and the premiere of the first gameplay trailer. Interesting. Cool. Next, Avowed. The team at Obsidian will share the first deep dive into the gameplay experience fans can expect in Avowed. Their upcoming fantasy action RPG set in the fantastical, vibrant living lands. Learn more about how Obsidian's expertise in building worlds with deep themes, dynamic gameplay, and thoughtful reactivity. Oh my God. Thoughtful reactivity. Interesting. Come to life in Avowed, where players will have agency to make choices to shape every step of their adventure. Excellent. Ara. Now, is this one of those Ara things? Yes, I did that. Ara Untold, History Untold. Hear from the leads at Oxide Games, a studio founded by veterans of the strategy genre. I can't believe I did that myself. And the creators behind classic strategy titles, including Civilization V, or Civ V, as the hardcore say, as they unveil exclusive new gameplay and share more details about the inspiration, key features, and road ahead for their upcoming historical grand strategy game. Yes. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Ninja Theory take us behind the scenes at their studio in Cambridge to give us some insight on how they are crafting Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. The team will speak to the ambition and meticulous care involved in creating Senua's journey of survival. Now, let me just add there, I am almost sick of hearing about what they're doing with this game and how amazing it is and how fidelity it is and how bloody emotional it is. And I'm sick of really hearing about it and just seeing like momentary gameplay elements. I want to just see the game. I want to play the game. Right? We all know this is an artistic endeavor and it's going to have some action game elements in it. And we're all enamored with the first game. We just want the next one. Right? So I don't want to hear any. I just hope this isn't going to be one of those pretentious experiences, right? That it's so pretentious it lets you down, right? I don't want that. I really, really don't. Holy moly. Anyway, so they go on to talk about ZeniMax Online Studios, hosting the Elder Scrolls Online 2024 global reveal. All right, so they're doing more chapters, more zones, whatever it is. Cool. Awesome. Cool. Anyway, so those are the 4 games that they're going to be highlighting in this developer direct, this Xbox direct of sorts. Am I excited? You know what? No, I'm not really. I was a bit. I'm excited to see what they do with Indiana Jones, right? But I want to know what's happening with it. Is it Xbox exclusive? Right. I think some of the telltale things need to be announced here in this developer direct. These developers need to tell or use the verbatim, right, that this is either Xbox console exclusive or just flat out Xbox exclusive, meaning that, you know, if you're playing on PC, phone streaming, whatever it is, that's the only place that you can play it, right? Are we too early to start hearing about, let's say, I don't know, Avowed or Ara History Untold potentially going to other consoles already? Like, well, imagine that. Imagine one of these games drops a ball or drops a bomb, right, and announces that, yeah, look, our game Ara History Untold, you can play it on Xbox and other consoles, right? Imagine that. I don't see it happening. I think it would be near suicide for Xbox in this landscape. That's it. That's in front of us that we're currently in. But we'll see. The only games that I'm interested to see Avowed and see how much they show us and see if the graphical aspect of it has improved. Like I mentioned earlier, I was pretty let down about the last showing. It just didn't visually look like what I was expecting from their teaser trailer. So let's see how much it's changed, if there's any extra polish or change there. Indiana Jones, I mean, yeah, I think everybody's really curious of what that's going to be. Like, is it just going to be, well, this might sound really contradictory, but is it just going to be Lara Croft Indiana Jones, like the modern Lara Croft Tomb Raider games, but Indiana Jones, which, if you know the history, I mean, those who are young, you might not know. My young viewers, you might not understand that, but Lara Croft wouldn't exist without Indiana Jones. Just saying. And neither would Nathan Drake. Shots fired. So, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, yeah, I'm keen on that. Like, I'm looking for that experience. Give me that experience. Otherwise, I don't really know much about Ara History Untold, but if it's something like Civ V, I don't care. I just don't care about those games. Anyway, so let me know what you think. Does this seem appealing, or are you excited about this? I have heard rumors of a shadow drop of sorts being announced in this developer direct as well. So like they did with Hi-Fi Rush. So let's see if they do that again, because that was really successful for Hi-Fi Rush. So I'm hoping that that's like another kind of a smaller nugget, kind of surprising type of game that, anyway, I don't want to get my hopes up, but I hope I see something like that. Cool. Anyway, yeah, so Xbox. Look, I'm still, I'll just say at the end of this, I'm not hyped about this generation, right? I haven't been excited about this generation at all. Like, Halo shat the bed. Gears 5 was a long time ago now, right? I love Gears. I need another Gears in my life, right? I just need it. I want another Gears game. It's my jam. It's one of my most favorite game series of all time, but there hasn't been another game on Xbox for an IP, like an exclusive game like Gears for Xbox, to come out in a very long time, right? That makes me go, hell yeah, I'm stoked to be on Xbox, right? Whereas PlayStation, man, you got Spider-Man. Oh my God. You know, you've got Ghost of Tsushima, or you got God of War, right? I've got a PS5, so it's no big deal. But you know what I'm saying? Like, there's games there that go, you know what? Hell yeah, I've got a PS5, right? Xbox don't currently have that. And for me to say that, I mean, for those who know me, that's a good thing. That's a good chunk of admission. Anyway, let's get into some Lois Lane, some Superman stuff. Yeah. Okie dokie. All right. For those of you who know me, I'm a big Superman fan. Henry Cavill's the best Superman that's ever existed. I love Christopher Reeve, but he was an element of his time, and people need to move on. People need to move on from Christopher Reeve's Superman. Forever iconic, forever a standard, yes, 100%. But there's more than Superman. There's more to Superman than meets the eye. You know, it's one of those things. Superman is not just the always smiling, saving kittens from the tree superhero, right? That's not it. And if you've actually picked up and read a Superman comic, you'd understand. And you'd understand how actually close and relevant Man of Steel and Henry Cavill's Superman was. It's very comic accurate if you've actually read Superman comics long enough, and if you're not just completely skewered by a 1978 movie forever. Anyway, that's a whole tangent I won't go down, but Anyway, so Henry Cavill's no longer Superman, and I hate that. I hate that's the world that we're living in. It is what it is. That I take solace knowing that there's a parallel Earth out there right now. We've had a Henry Cavill trilogy and 3 Justice League movies, and everybody's happy. That's the world. There's a parallel world scientifically and mathematically that exists. So I'll take solace there. So what are we talking about today? All right. So we've got this update about Superman Legacy. That is not an official image of Superman. It is a Photoshop version of Brandon Routh with the new guy's head on it. So Rachel Brosnahan is the new Lois Lane, right? So let me just quickly run through what this article says. Let me zoom in so you can actually see that visual, listeners. So the marvelous Miss Maisel star recently opened up about her role as Lois Lane in the upcoming DCU starter. Brosnahan mentioned that she is excited to bring a fresh perspective to the character of Lois Lane in James Gunn's Superman Legacy. All right. During an interview with Extra TV at the Golden Globe Awards, Brosnan, wow, they said Brosnan, not Brosnahan. Well, get the name right, mate. Covered geekly.com, get it right. Brosnan was asked how her portrayal of Lois Lane would differ from past interpretations of the iconic character. Brosnan, well, they've said it differently now. Brosnan said, "We've been having a lot of great conversations, David Cornsweet, the new Superman, and I, with James Gunn, the director." She continued, "We've been talking about a lot of where this project fits into the canon of the Superman we know. Hopefully we'll be putting our own stamp on things." Now that last thing, like I said at the top of the show, scares me greatly. Oh boy, does it ever. So what that usually means in current year. Oh boy. What that means is I anticipate Lois Lane is either going to cuck Superman hardcore. She's the one that's going to have powers, is going to be stronger than Superman is. She's going to teach Superman everything that he knows how to be Superman. She's going to be the boss girl, the boss lady of this, right? I fear that, right? I really do. I have a very sinking feeling that Lois Lane is going to push over Superman, right? And I almost want to see it happen just to see this new universe fail and have DC go, oh God, well not DC, but Warner Brothers just be like, oh boy, you know, we walked away from what we had and we messed it up big time, and now we're investing in this woke ideology. We're following Disney and whatever discussion you want to have about, you know, Blackroot and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I won't go too far into it, but some of the stuff I've been hearing is quite scary. But this whole narrative shift that seems to be quite universal in the pushback on it. But anyway, that's real tinfoil hat stuff that I won't go down right now. But it's very fascinating to think about, and there's a lot of breadcrumbs that makes you think if you go down the rabbit hole long enough, right? So, look, am I open to different interpretations? Yeah, man. Like, yeah, we have to be, right? Because there's only so many times you can tell the same story, right? I'm fully aware of that. I get it, but I'm a big advocate and defender of sticking to characters that we know and love, that everybody knows, being true to the characters and writing good stories for them, right? What I don't like is undermining beloved characters. Both Superman and Lois Lane are beloved characters, right? People love Lois Lane for who she is, right? And people love Superman for who he is, right? Superman and Lois complement each other because of their differences, right? And there's a lot in that relationship that speaks to who both of them are. Lois Lane is strong in many ways as the modern woman, and Superman, you know, he's the country kid, you know, soft at heart, but he's the strongest thing there is, right? And he admires Lois Lane and all that kind of stuff. There's a whole relationship there, and that's what I hope. That's what I hope that this stamp is. It's telling a new way of interpreting their relationship, right? On how Superman admires her, right? Her strength as who she is, right? Not that she's a girl boss and is the best, and Superman just loves her because reasons, and she tells him what to do and upstages him and, you know, trains him in his powers and abilities, right? I do have my fears that that's exactly the path that we're going down, and I will be zero on that completely, right? I do know that James Gunn is referencing Superman for All Seasons and a couple other books like that, of that type of vibe, right? So that gives me a little faith, right, on what he's trying to do. I have this idea of what James Gunn's trying to do, but comments like this do put the sharp knife of fear in me, right? Just because of the current climate we're in and we've been in for the last 5 or 10 years, and it doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. So it might just be like Vietnam flashbacks at this point, and I hope I'm wrong. And we'll see what happens when this movie eventually comes out in 2026. But I just wanted to add this in here because, like, man, come on. Like, you had everything, Warner Brothers, right? If you just got rid of your intervening and meddling executives, you know, and just trusted in your creators' visions to build out that universe, you would have had something quite amazing and unique with its own tone, right? Anyway, I won't go down this, but I do worry that James Gunn's just trying to do exactly what Warner Brothers wanted, that Marvel money, right? But he's now 5 years too late on it, right? Or 10 years too late on it for DC, right? I just, man, the other thing that would piss me off is if they do go, you know, dark and mature in spite of themselves after everything that's happened. Anyway, holy crap. I know I'm like speculating 3 times too fast in 3 different ways, and it's like, it's a minefield. But anyway, if you have any interest in the new DC universe, I don't, and I'm happy to be proven wrong. I hope, you know, no hate towards this guy, whatever his name is, forgot his name already. Cornsweat, David Cornsweat. No hate on him. I'll pass judgment. I'll do a video. I'll do a chunk cast when his actual suit reveal, when there's a promotional image of him in his suit. Hopefully it's a good suit. You know, people, I love Henry Cavill. I love his suit. I love that whole take on the character. I love, like, Man of Steel and BVS and Zack Snyder's Justice League. Those 3 movies, just, you can't touch them. They're just, I don't know how they're going to do better. I really don't. What I can see is he's just going to play to the Christopher Reeve crowd, right? Honestly, that's all I can see that he's going to do is go, well, you know, Christopher Reeve came out. They did his thing. It's been iconic forever. Superman Returns came out. They hired someone that looked like Christopher Reeve, and it was a pseudo sequel to Superman 2/1. It didn't do well. And it got complaints of not enough action in it. So what do they do? They go and have many kind of stops and starts, false starts of other Superman movies after that. And then they finally get to Man of Steel, and they get someone that actually looks like Superman, who loves Superman, who understands Superman, who wants to play Superman forever, right? And you get a movie like Man of Steel that has its own tone, that has its own identity, that has answered all the complaints of the previous ones, where it's not like Christopher Reeve. There's more action in it, right? But then people don't like it, right? Anyway, so what are they going to do with this, right? What's the happy medium? Superman Legacy, what is it? What's the happy medium here? I anticipate cheese. I anticipate Christopher Reeveisms. I won't be surprised if they make him save a kitten out of a tree, you know, all that kind of stuff. Look, in a perfect world, if James Gunn goes real 90s vibe with this, 90s Superman, right? If you think the Adventures of Superman cartoon, the Justice League Unlimited cartoon, the 90s comics, you know, with the death of Superman, you know, you've got Steel, Superboy, you know, Metallo, Mongol, you know, all that stuff, War World, you know, those kind of things, Darkseid Apocalypse, you know, Toyman, the Intergang, all those kind of, oh man, like if they do all that, Brainiac, if they bring all those things in, cool, I'll watch it, right? But I'll never be as invested, and someone might clip this down the road, but I'll never be as invested as I was in Zack Snyder's DC slate that he was putting together. I was so heavily invested in that, and I won't let myself be hurt like that ever again. You know, it's one of those things. Anyway, enough about that. We've gone well over time in this one, so for those of you who are still here, I appreciate it. And let's wrap this up, shall we? Yes. Excellent, cool. So here we are at the end of another week, and another Chunkcast done and dusted. Yes, and it's quite hot in here. It's still hot here in Australia. For those overseas viewers in America, I envy your winter, right? Enjoy your snuggle time in your cold weather and being able to put on extra clothes and still be comfortable. Over here, there's only so many layers of clothes you can take off before it becomes inappropriate. And we're just waiting through the day, like literally wading through the day. Some parts of Australia are flooded. The air feels like you're in a sauna sometimes. It's not very pleasant. So I'm going to open my doors. All right, I'm going to stop this. I'm going to open my doors. I'm going to crank the aircon. I'm going to settle in on a Friday night. And I'm going to cut this video up and upload it and get it ready for YouTube. And let's get this consistency going and keep going on with 2024. And expect more Chuntcast next Friday night as usual. And who knows, this year I might have some intermittent uploads of other things that I want to do this year as I get more creative or put myself out there a bit more. All right, so as we wrap this up, let me do my ending spiel. As we wrap this up, I wish you thanks for your time and including me in your day. All right, thanking you in particular for including me in your day. It means a lot. I know there's plenty of other things you could be watching, but you're stuck here looking at my sweaty face. Feel free to follow my socials at Uncle Chunt on major platforms or find me at unclechunt.com to keep abreast of my upcoming projects and updates. In the meantime, till all are one, and may the power protect you, Skal. Toodaloos all. Take care of yourselves. Bye.